Hello, everybody. So I want to talk about, we've talked considerably about relationships, and I want to talk a little bit more about why relationships fall apart, falter, fray. We know why, and we've conversed about how to create relationships, whether at their inception or you have two disparate or different forms or halves, and you combine into a relationship, and sometimes that's easier. But over time, these relationships can tend to falter and fray. And there's 4 reasons that I see why that happens. And understanding why and how relationships can fray may help you to ensure that they don't do that in the most important relationships that you have. Of course, this is directed towards an organization, but it could also be directed towards individuals as well. In other words, personal relationships. So the first is changing visions and ambitions. If you've ever heard the term, we've just grown apart, in the personal realm, that also occurs in the professional realm as well. And so while you may have come together for a certain aspect or project, and once that has been achieved, then you have to have new ambitions and new visions. And sometimes those visions over time are not going to be copacetic with each other. In some ways, that's a fact of life. People change throughout their life. They have different influences, and they respond to those influences differently. Some become wealthy and maybe have different ambitions. Maybe some want to spend more money on charity and some want to make more money. So it's hard to tell when people encounter different circumstances in their life how they're going to react to it. Second is differing levels of work and productivity. When you first start out, you may work very, very hard, both of you, both organizations, both departments, to achieve an objective. But as you have a level of achievement, maybe some want to not work so hard and enjoy the efforts that they've had in the past. Others want to continue to work at breakneck speed. So these differing levels of work and productivity is something that you see that can fray a relationship. Third is a lack of focus on the relationship, time and care. For those that have been married, are married, those who are friendships, and you often see that one puts in more effort than the other. It doesn't really mean that the one who doesn't put in as much effort cares less. It just means that maybe they have other influences that they pursue. In some ways, you just take it for granted. It's sad in a way, and you can certainly understand how it happens. But you've also heard the statement that people say that marriage takes a lot of work. Relationships in the organizational realm take a lot of work too. And when you lack the focus and you may be spending time on other ambitions rather than focus on the relationship and ensure that both sides feel mutually rewarded, respected, and have a feeling that there's a productive future, then that could fray the relationship. And lastly is something called more exciting alternatives elsewhere, or more exciting aspects to pursue. And it's not so much the vision, it's just that you want to just do something different, and something comes along that catches your eye, and you're thinking to yourself, well, I've done this, and I've been as successful at this. I haven't done that, and I sure would like to try that. So those 4 aspects can certainly affect a relationship. Changing visions and ambitions, especially over time as people change, just like we want to buy different products, you could be buying something different and making something in the organization. Second is a different level of work and productivity, again, especially over a period of time after you have some success. The lack of focus on a relationship, you just don't pay attention to the things that are important. And lastly, more exciting alternatives. Everybody enjoy the day. Look forward to our next discussion.